This episode is brought to you by Lurk Royalty, a Twitch gaming team that puts out Call of Duty content, Rocket League content, and any epic esports matchups you can think of. If you want to check them out, go over to twitch.tv. The three team members are Creeper KC, you got Brazzy TTV, and Reckless_X. Go check them out over on twitch.tv.
And now, the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast.
With your host, Clinton,
Hunter,
and Ryan,
as we bring you the latest in gaming news, reviews, and the newest updates on national and local esports events.
along with great recipes for you good-looking dads.
gadgets and gifts for gaming, gags, and great deals.
And we're raising the heat as we go into gaming competition in the Delirious Dome. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Buenas noches.
Good night. The one he always forgets you, Night Ninjas.
Night Ninjas. I like it. Well, this is episode 109. I'm your host, co-host, before Ryan gets mad, Clinton. And I'm here with my good friend, Rhino 2150.
My name is Pedro.
And we're joined by Hunter, Hunt Dog.
Oh,
over at
Hunter,
the
how you
beach.
doing down there?
Hey, buddy.
Looking good.
Yep. Oh man, you're just looking jacked, man.
That Carolina sun is really doing something for his abs.
Yeah, it's almost like he's made of stone, or maybe cardboard. I don't know. Something's going on.
I'm giving up on you.
Yeah, he's looking a little different tonight. I don't know, but Hunter, we're glad you joined us tonight, all the way from the beach.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Oh, you're gonna stay? Okay, I get it. Silent. What do they call that? Silent and the strong silent type. Yeah, that's the term.
Strong silent type. I was thinking
Yeah.
silent but deadly, but yeah, strong silent type works.
A little bit of both.
Boy, they can tell me and you took over the podcast tonight, can't they?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, whoa, what happened to the organization? Out the window. Threw it out, guys. Don't need it. Don't need it.
What do you mean? The organization still exists. It's called Delirious Dads Gaming.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean like organizing to have things in like a good organized fashion. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah, so Ryan earlier mentioned when we were getting ready for the podcast about Call of Duty, but then I was thinking Final Fantasy, so now we're just on two completely different planes.
Oh, you mean for what we're going to play afterward, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it might be Final Fantasy.
I just want to deliver some shoes, some milk to people, you know?
Yeah.
Just
bags.
Yep.
I was bagging, dodo birds.
Yeah.
Can't really beat that. Yeah.
Killed me some ladybugs on the Final Fantasy 14.
They don't call them ladybugs, though. They call them beetles. It's like, grow up. I know a ladybug is a beetle, but come on. Just call it a ladybug.
And then Ryan, he was all creeping on people's houses because apparently there's player housing in this game that I didn't know about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty intense player housing, actually.
It really
I know
was.
some of you guys who've played Final Fantasy before, you already know all this stuff. We're new. We're just checking it out. And MMO world is pretty much new to me. I've played a little World of Warcraft with Clint, but like to the extent that we've never even ran a quest or a dungeon or whatever you want to call the thing. See, I don't know. Dungeon. So, anyways, we're playing Final Fantasy. So for me, that's all new. The controls are horrible. The characters just like standing sideways and running forward half the time. I don't know what's going on.
I feel like you should try the control scheme, like the controller, just to see if it's better for you.
Yeah, but then I'll never get used to using the mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
And if it gets intense, the mouse and keyboard is going to be better. And you want one of the little 10 keys, whatever.
Yeah, you want to be like the guy.
We're probably going to try Elder Scrolls 2 because obviously that's probably more me and Hunter's pace. If you guys know us.
Okay, so here's how I feel. I feel like World of Warcraft is like, it's like the old guys. Not saying that all players in Warcraft are old, but I'm saying it's kind of like that established. Hey, we're the Sega generation. We're the old school gamers, right? And then you've got Elder Scrolls, which is like all the people that like the anime and the out there kind of like, I don't know. I'm trying to think here. I'm digging myself in a hole, I think.
Go for it.
Like Portal people. I don't know. Not even portable
Yeah.
people, but just like, they're just out there. They're a little different on what they're into, right? And
You're saying
then you got Elder Scrolls Online
you said
people.
it. Hold on. I knew you were going to say that. You said Elder. What Clint's talking about is Final Fantasy. He's saying Final Fantasy are more of those kind of people. You know what he's saying. He's saying you like Yu-Gi-Oh! You like
Pikachu.
Pokemon. Yeah, you're into what's the other big one? Goku and the freaking Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
If you like Dragon Ball Z, this is your jam for sure.
Go for it.
Yeah, I get what
all
you're
the way,
saying. Yeah.
all the way.
Yeah.
And then there's Elder Scrolls Online, which is like your hard punk rock, baby. Like they just got an edge to them. They're
It's kind of like your regular
they're a little more hardcore than the old
guy. Yeah. But they also want to experience the MMO, but they don't want to do the. Everybody gets mad when I say turn-based. I know it's not turn-based, but World of Warcraft and these kind of games, they kind of feel like it. You click a button, it doesn't move. You're not doing it.
17-year-old engine. That's what that's.
Everybody does that, right? You click a button, like even if you're playing a game like a regular RPG, you hit X or whatever it is, and you swing the knife. You're not obviously swinging the knife, but you get what I mean. The cooldown type deal, where you hit it and then you need to hit a different spell, and then you know what threw me off, guys? I have 2 axe spells. You want to call it a spell? I don't know what they are. Actions, right? It's my action bar. I hit 2 axe actions. Why did they both go away no matter which one you hit?
Ooh.
Just because I wielded my axe? That's dumb.
Okay, so
what's
they
the point of having 2 different ones?
They call that a global cooldown, which disables certain spells that would fall under that same category.
I was excited when I had both because I was like, sweet, I can just tap and then tap and tap and tap and just slash these guys. Nope, it was still just freeze.
You'll probably end up getting spells that don't do that, but I get what you're saying. It's a little like, why do I have 2 when you don't know that? So
also, I needed a spell to de-lice some sheep. That was new. And I needed a spell to bag dodos, right?
Yeah.
I guess you're calling those spells, right? Is that what they are?
Yeah, I'm a polgist, so I was over here like, thought I was going to be using daggers. I was thinking it was like more of a rogue set, which I guess it does have a rogue thing within it, but I'm more like hand to hand. We're over here, Chuck Norris and stuff. Just,
right.
Little Bruce Lee action.
Right. Yeah, fisticuff.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So it's a pretty intense little game. And the UI system, guys, just so you know, is like straight up 90s. I mean, it's like AOL window browser game. I mean,
hold on. When you say the UI system, it sounds like you're talking about the whole game system. It's really the entry. Yeah, really mainly like the entry menu type setup. Like once you're in the game, it doesn't really feel that way. I mean, the no talking, reading 900 pages of text every time you interact with somebody isn't really my jam either. And I know people are thinking that's because you're dumb and you're just a shooter and you pull a trigger, bang, bang.
Yeah,
I get it. I'm just saying I don't want to. I'm saying it's the 21st century. I know, but I should have this guy talking to me. I should have some voice acting, and I should have him.
Yeah, but then you have like then you're downloading a game like Call of Duty at that point. He said, "Well, it's worth it for my audio."
Yes, it is.
There were cinematics that I ended up getting into though that did have the voice acting, but just for your basic boring quest. Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. What you had is like the previews of the new world or the new area you're in, and that character voice that's like, and he's narrating like John's going into the journey of his lifetime. That guy's talking. There's no person that's talking.
I was questing, I came across this chick, this little, I don't know what they're called in the game. Mm-hmm. She was wearing a little pink dress. Mm-hmm. And then it cut into once I clicked on her and accepted the quest, it cut to like a little cinematic.
And she talked?
Yeah, and she talked, and we were all talking, and then some white-haired dude shows up. What's up, bro? What's happening, bro? And then, boom, I went to space again. It was weird.
Nobody came into...
Yeah, go watch the stream.
Come on.
It's over on the Twitch channel, guys. Delirious Dads Gaming.
It was slightly believable until you said a guy came in on Final Fantasy and said, "What's up, bro? Come on, bro."
No, they didn't.
When he said that, I think you're making it up. That's all.
I'm associating it with my voice.
Okay.
Yeah, my dialect. Okay.
Anyway. Anywho, we are going to bring some news. We're not going to talk about home life much because we already talked about our little home life of gaming. I think that was an interesting little spiel we gave you. We will talk more about Final Fantasy as we give it a little bit more of a chance. Right now, the graphics are beautiful. The game plays very smooth, even in crowded areas. It's a super smooth game. Mm-hmm. And I like the character development so far, but it's super basic right now. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we're some basic bees right now. We're just
Mm-hmm.
just walking through the alleyways begging for money.
But we do have some good news for you guys tonight, and it's a little bit better news. Like we've had kind of weird news a couple weeks ago, and then kind of weak news last week. This week, I would say it's a little bit better. There's a little bit more meat on the bone.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Some of it released Friday, I believe, and we had already edited the podcast and released it, so it wasn't covered on Friday's stuff, but it's coming at you tonight. Let's go ahead.
Our listeners are exclusive anyways. They don't listen to any news or watch any news unless it comes from us. I know that.
Oh, okay. We're like a cult. I like that.
I like that too. I didn't think of it that way.
All right, so let's hit it on over. We're going to see what's going on in the Leaks for Geeks, baby. Leaks for Geeks. And it's time for the Leaks for Geeks, the news for the dudes. And we've got meat with a little bit of sizzle, baby.
I'm going to go first.
Always.
I'm going to jump in on this. Hey, that's messed up. That's personal. Anyways, first thing I've got for you guys is when I first saw this, I thought, really? I didn't even know. Like, I usually stay up on all this cloud gaming, remote gaming, Amazon and Xbox Cloud and Stadia, and there's so much of that going on. And then I saw this story about Netflix. I didn't know Netflix was getting involved in the gaming world at all. So I thought, wow, they're jumping into this cloud gaming thing too? No, not really. It's their own thing, which is kind of specifically built more around mobile gaming, interestingly enough. I like their take, and I like this article. So pulled it up for you guys. Netflix video game service is saying all the right things. That's what the title of this article is. And the main first quote, you're going to love it. We don't have to think about ads. We don't have to think about in-game purchases or other monetization.
I like that.
So Netflix doesn't care about money. This is interesting. Sounds like a lie. But as you read into it, they give good reasoning for what they're doing here and what their plan is. And I like it a lot, okay? So it says here, as part of the company's latest earning report, CEO Reed Hastings and Chief Product Officer Greg Peets jumped into a conversation. They're talking about loads of different things, but in the conversation came they're implementing detour into the gaming arena. Okay. Former game writer Julia Alexander was listening to the call and took note that they were saying about the Netflix video game plans. It says, aside from the fact that Netflix will initially be targeting mobile games, so their first big push in this is going to be mobile games. Hastings said they're not expecting to be planning on making any profit from the gaming itself. Their plan is instead to expand what they're offering for the subscription they're already offering. So they're just trying to add more value to their subscription. So they will make more profit, but because they're going to have more subscribers, they're going to hit a new demographic. They're going to have people that are subscribing, hopefully, for the games. And then they're going to go, hey, why not do it? We're going to get the movies and shows and everything too with Netflix, but the games is what interests me. And the reason why is because it's actually very common if you're a mobile gamer, it's very common to be spending close to $100 a month, which sounds crazy, right? For mobile gaming. But for guys who are into it, they do a lot of, for one, there's a lot of ads, and then they kind of say, well, that's between some of the ads that get you to buy things, right? You don't think about that. That's a cost of being a mobile gamer. Those ads sunk their teeth into you and got you to buy something. And then also there's a lot of, upgrades, right? Skins, all that kind of stuff that we're talking about where you jump in the game and they have all those in-game purchases now. All these biggest mobile games, the biggest ones are free, but they're not really free because you've got all these in-app purchases and stuff. So the game plan is here we're going to suck these people in with the offer of having really good games on the mobile scene that don't have any in-game purchases. They don't have any ads. They don't have any of that stuff. And they're still essentially play like a free game. Yes, you're paying your $15 or whatever for Netflix. But then after that, you're going to get the value from the movies and all that. And the games are kind of essentially feel free. And I agree. I like what they're saying here. Here's the beautiful thing. They said as to this point in time, mobile gaming has exploded, but mobile gaming is completely limited by the way of monetization that it has right now. So all of your game developers are developing around the idea of having in-game ads and in-game purchases to monetize the game, right? Mm-hmm. And so they kind of build their game around that structure. Everything is kind of built around, hey, you want the cool gear, the good gear, blah, 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 you're going to buy it, right?
Yeah.
So they're saying this is going to completely open up new developers. So a lot of the developers that they're talking to that are game creators are super excited because they can forget about all that, right? They don't have to worry about that because they're going to get paid directly from Netflix based off of the hopes of Netflix getting more to their portfolio, right? More actual subscribers. Then they're going to kick some of that subscriber money over to these game makers. And that's how the game makers will make their profits, will be directly from Netflix and not from you. So that allows the game makers themselves to actually go back to doing what they do best, which is making a game, right? So they can just think about making the game good, making it enjoyable, making, the upgrades and the things you earn throughout the game with it, instead of you have to buy it. So it sounds like a lot of the developers that they're in talks with love the plan. They don't know how well it's going to work, but the idea behind it is good. And I actually agree. I think this is an interesting take. I like that they're not jumping into cloud gaming with everybody else and their dogs, right? Which they may later, but they're going at this in a very unique way. The targeting mobile, which mobile users for Netflix has exploded in the last 5 years, right? Like just watching shows and movies. People do it on their phone, tablet, laptops, computers, way more than just the TVs like it used to be.
Now you got little controller attachments for your phone that used to not exist. And this makes sense in the Netflix model as far as, really think about Netflix when you use it. You don't have to deal with ads. You have to deal with Netflix ads. Like they might post up like hey, here's another movie that you might be interested in, right? Right. But no, like they don't, you're not watching a commercial for Mountain Dew before your movie or, whatever. So, that's pretty exciting. Which is, a lot of people don't understand. That's why Netflix is a little bit more expensive than like Hulu. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Hulu's less expensive because they're able to make money off the ads. Yeah. Netflix isn't really doing that. I think it's a different structure. So the model sounds like it's going to be a subscription-based thing for subscribers then, like you're going to get to access the mobile games for free then. Yes, it's just being added to the roster, no cost. Oh, that's and the writer in here said, at least for now, but there hasn't been anything said to give the idea that they're going to charge more, like a separate subscription. It's just they're adding something new to what you get within your Netflix subscription. So then there's going to be a lot of the people who already have Netflix that are just kind of getting something for free. So this is to combat Amazon, or not Amazon, HBO Max, Disney Plus. This is going to be kind of their solution to that. So they don't lose as many people. They're adding more value to their subscription. Yep. Okay. Yep. And very cool. Yeah, I'm with it. But Netflix is doing a great job with production too, right? We've seen a lot of good movies, not just shows, but movies too. High-end movies made in the last 3 years. Produced by Netflix. They're the company like Warner Brothers used to be. Now it's Netflix. I'm still over here waiting on my Stranger Things, bro. Like season 4, it's like, come on, give it to me. And I saw they have that Fear Street show. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched it yet. Yeah. So, but I come across movies that are Netflix sometimes. Like I watched one the other night, and I haven't watched just like a movie on my own for a while. And I was up. You went to bed. I wasn't ready for bed after gaming. I went down and watched. What was it called? It was a Will Ferrell movie, but it was about singing, like a singing competition. Oh, yeah. And they're like... they're from Greenland. Yeah. And it was funny. It was a pretty good movie. Icelandic. Yeah, they're Icelandic. That's what it is. Yeah, Iceland. You watched that one? Yeah, Viva Kill. Yeah, it was pretty good. And that was a Netflix-produced movie. So it's interesting.
these exclusives that are coming out with big actors and stuff like that.
And they don't seem cheap. Like used to Netflix movies were kind of a little bit cheap. Kind of like Amazon Prime movies,
It seemed just like Talladega Nights or any other movie, that he's in. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't if you guys haven't watched that movie, it's more serious. Like it's funny, but it's left to be like realistic. It's not like one of these
heart a little bit.
Crazy movies. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, dang, I thought I came here to laugh. Now I'm here to cry a little bit.
It was a good one.
Yeah. I'm over there like, who's chopping onions? Get out of here.
All right. Well, that's it for that story. I think it's a good plan. We'll see what happens with it. I thought Stadia was a good plan, and they choked it,
Yeah, they choked it.
But we'll see. I mean, they're still here. Like we said, Stadia, what do you call it? Not Amazon. Google has enough money to sustain during the hard time. So I think we're still going to see Stadia make it through. They're going to emerge as something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because they have consistently gotten better, their lag has gotten better, their latency's gotten better, their game list has gotten better. And so if they keep working on all those things, they're going to make a mark. This is a whole different angle. I like the fact that they're jumping into a whole, like, who else is doing this? What they're doing? Nobody yet. I haven't heard of anybody doing this.
And this is really smart on their part to capture those extra subscribers,
Yep. I don't have Netflix. Never have thought about having Netflix. You know
really?
Why? Yep. Because I've got HBO through AT&T. I don't even usually use it much. And then I've got Hulu and Disney Plus, which are both good. And then I use Streamio. It's free. Okay. So I've just never really had the interest in doing Netflix. Never had the need to. But this is the first time I've gone,
maybe.
Interesting. Maybe. Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to bring some controversial news towards our buddies over at Twitch, who we do stream on. So we'll see what happens here on the show. But anyway.
We're a pretty big deal over there.
Yeah. They can't handle the power, So what's going on? We got to kind of go back a little bit here in the esports world. I know you guys have heard of Dr. Disrespect. Maybe you're not a fan, or maybe you don't really know him well because maybe you don't watch streams, but you've heard of the guy. You've at least seen him. He's got the mullet, the shades, the Ethiopian, what's he call it? The poisonous Ethiopian caterpillar over the lip, Last year he got banned by Twitch, and still not really any details on why. It's now at this point suspected that it's Twitch maybe didn't want to pay the contract for the doc. And
so we don't know. It's all still in litigation.
Caught in the mixer. We don't know. So anyway, and it's just kind of been ugly. There's tournaments that he's been banned from because of his affiliation with or his ban with Twitch. Activision and other tournament companies that are putting on these tournaments have banned him, and so it just kind of sucks. But now it's moved on from that. So during this time period, Doc went over to YouTube, established a good base, and has really not slowed down. I don't know that he's grown as much, but he's still maintained, and
he's doing good for sure.
Yeah. So he's ended up getting with a streamer named Zlaner. And that's his Call of Duty group. They do duos together. They play. They hang out. And so recently, with all these situations with Doc not being able to play in the tournaments, certain Call of Duty, like these big Call of Duty tournaments, Zlaner kind of struck back. So basically, here's what happened. Zlaner decided that he was going to dress up as the Doc. And this was for the, what was it? What's over here in this article here? Let's see. It was the World of Warzone Championships. Zlaner decided he was going to dress up as Dr. Disrespect, do a little cosplay. So even though the Doc wasn't in the tournament, Zlaner was. And so he made an appearance as the Doc. And it was pretty cool little spoof. Just kind of a shout out to his buddy. A little bit of support from him. And, nothing happened. They played the tournament. Nothing was said. Nothing done. And then a couple weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, I seen a video where Zlaner was talking about he was offered a Twitch contract and he turned it down because he did not want to not be able to play with his friend, Dr. Disrespect. He said, reasoning being, Dr. Disrespect had shined a light on his stream. He was already a pretty good streamer anyway, but Doc kind of rose him to that next level.
Yeah, help with his growth and development and everything. Yep.
So with that done, he's like, I'm not going to turn my back on my friend. I'd rather play with my friend and not go over to Twitch and be, alienated from my friend, my streamer buddy. So today was the Twitch Rivals tournament, which was a $75,000 Warzone tournament. And we get this message here over on Twitter from Zlaner. Says, I was pumped to run it up with Kaylee Renee and Clutch Belk today, but received this message day of. In quotation marks, Zlaner is not eligible for Twitch Rivals today. End quote. And then dash Twitch staff.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. It says here on this article over on Dexter2.com, it says there were all kind of rumors flying around as to the reason why Zlaner was barred, including his affiliation with Dr. Disrespect. Some Twitch staff even said it was because he wasn't a Twitch partner. But a lot of people said, hey, what are you talking about? He's an affiliate with the site. So that doesn't make sense. And then an esports journalist, Jake Lucky, tweeted that alleged reason for the ban was none other than Zlaner's Dr. Disrespect cosplay. And just to add further fuel to the rumor, the streamer himself even liked the tweet. So there you go. Really no reasons as to why. But
the other question should be pretty easy to answer by doing a little bit of research, which we haven't yet, but you can. Yeah. Is there anybody else who's not a Twitch partner that's in the tournament? So, I mean, you could rule that out real easy.
Oh, yeah.
If everybody in the tournament are only Twitch partners, then that could be a rule that they have. But why would he find out the day of? You see?
Yeah,
they already knew he wasn't a Twitch partner.
They got him last minute, so he couldn't raise too much of a stink. Just cut him on out. What do you think, Hunter? Okay, so Hunter's smiling. He thinks it's good. Yeah. It's a good deal. So I've got this video set up here that we're going to watch real quick. Ryan, I've got the link down there. It's the Zlaner YouTube video. We're just going to look and check out his cosplay to see. We're going to rate it here and see what we thought. Was this video worth the ire, the anger of Twitch? I don't know. Let's check it out. I think Hunter's hair's starting to look like that.
It's out of my head, but I'm still in control. It's out of my head.
Little voice crack there.
I've got no sound for some reason, sadly.
Oh.
The power of my soul.
Here we go.
That's pretty good. You did pretty good Doc impersonation.
The best ever doing. Dr. Ziz. Respect. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in.
So there you go.
I really appreciate it. We had to put a little bit of respect on somebody's name, someone that we all may know that can't really do this himself over here, but we're going to be doing it here today for him. We're going to have a phenomenal day today, folks.
Well, yeah, and it's not just a dress up. You know what I mean?
We're going to have a phenomenal day here today.
So he's making it known why he's doing it.
Good time.
Yeah. Definitely poking the bear. So, I don't know. I think it's awesome that he's a good friend to the Doc. Just kind of
unless we find out something later, we say what we say, guys, listeners, because we don't know why in the world this has happened to Doc. Now, if it comes out later, Doc was touching a little girl that he shouldn't have been touching or something weird like that, we're obviously not going to be on the Doc's side. You know what I mean? But now we don't know. And there's been no speculation really of that,
Yeah. He would have been in jail by now.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't seem like there's anything legitimate from what we've got so far.
Somebody hurt somebody's feelings or pissed someone up somewhere, and it was like, hey, some kind of dispute.
It sounds like a business
really.
deal went wrong. Yeah, it's a money thing. Yeah, that's how it feels. Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, but this reaction to Zlaner, I don't see any reason why they did ban him other than it's got to be the cosplay. Could be him turning down the Twitch contract, but I would think it'd be more of that. So
it's kind of a combo of it, right? I mean, to them, it probably feels like a little bit of a dirt in a wound kind of thing.
A snub.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you're using our platform to make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And you're gonna do us like that, and it's like, well, yeah, I guess so. Some people do, you know.
Yeah. It sucks. Then it's kind of like, well, we definitely need YouTube. Hey, YouTube. Sometimes there needs to be competition. Just saying.
It happens on YouTube too, though, right? Like, so there's not just streamers, but YouTube.
Oh, you're cutting out there.
Am I back or no?
Yep, you're back now.
Maybe they're right wingers or there's something like that, but other YouTube stars, right, that have lost monetization over a stance they've taken, right, that's not popular in the modern age. Well, they do the same thing. They kind of openly bash YouTube in their YouTube videos. You know what I mean? And set up Patreon accounts and other ways to make money because YouTube's just going to screw them. Sometimes I think guys are doing that, and they are. I think it's a little bit of a push. But some guys are doing it because they're really getting screwed by YouTube. And it's like, yeah, they're still using the platform. Their whole name and branding is still getting, promoted by YouTube. I agree. But at the same time, if YouTube is going to demonetize and stop them from being able to keep their cash flow the way it needs to be, then yeah, I push some slam whammy on whoever my promotional company is too.
Yeah.
Problem is there's not enough competition. That's really the problem. There's only a few things out there that are even usable, that you could grow and really make an income on doing this kind of thing. So
right. And that's why, like with, for instance, Warcraft, we were talking earlier about Final Fantasy being us trying it because of the recent uptick in popularity. It's not that I plan on leaving World of Warcraft forever, but it's exciting to see, hey, there could be somebody that's actually equal, or gets equal attention to push Blizzard to, hey, take some chances, make some changes with your formula. You know, I think competition's a good thing in all lines of business and really life. So anyway, that's what's going on in the esports world with the Doc's life and his good buddy Zlaner. So I don't know, guys, share in the comments. Let us know in the chat. What do you think?
My next story is about Polygon Studio, which you guys have probably heard of Polygon before. But the question is, have you heard of what an NFT is? Some of you have, some of you aren't. A lot of nerds know what an NFT is. They know what crypto is. They know what blockchain is.
Nothing like good nacho fries and tacos.
Yep. NFT, nacho fries and tacos is exactly what it means. Well, Polygon's getting involved with it. The real word for you guys is non-fungible tokens. Essentially, you want me to break it down to the simplest form. It's a very well protected digital asset. Okay. So, and you could call it art if you want to, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a contract. It could be anything that's in digital form. An NFT makes it non-fungible, meaning it can't be copied, can't be redistributed. Every time it's touched, moved, or anything, it's automatically recorded the same way.
Is it fungible or fundable?
Non-fungible.
Fungible. Funge? Fungible. Funge. Funge with a G?
Yeah.
Not a D.
If you NG. Yeah.
Okay. Because earlier I said you said I thought, oh, he just messed it up.
No.
Okay. I had to ensure it because it was messing with my brain.
You're good. We say things wrong on here all the time. So essentially, it protects you, right? So say you're an artist, you're making some drawings, but they're digital, right? Back in the day, digital was really hard to protect. People can just steal it, do whatever the freak they want with it, way easier than kind of like an actual painting, right? Or an actual sculpture. Well, now, of course, when people say that, you think, what do you mean, like just a drawing? No, what about like a 3D rendering, right? Say you did like a 3D rendering of a cool character. That would be a digital form of a sculpture, right? That 3D thing can spin around. You can see it from all different ways. Maybe it's got some cool stuff going on around it. Or maybe it's nothing like that, and it's literally a ticket to a show that was really popular, and you got a VIP ticket. Well, that special VIP ticket back in the day, right? They'd frame that, you'd save it. Maybe years from now, you say, "Hey, I had this Led Zeppelin ticket all the way back from the show. I had front seats and or front row and back seat passes or whatever you call it, and backstage passes. Sorry, and all of a sudden that ticket's worth some money, right? Because that was a certain famous show, something crazy happened there, and this and that. Well, now in digital form, we buy tickets and all these things. Well, you can turn that into a non-fungible token. So it really crosses a huge spectrum. Well, a little while back, I was telling Clint that the gaming industry is getting into non-fungible tokens and mining of these kind of tokens, meaning you get into a game, let's say like what we're playing right now, right? An MMO style game. We're checking out Final Fantasy, and let's say in Final Fantasy, you go on this certain mission and you are mining or searching in this hard to find area. And when you find this certain thing, boom, you get like a thing in the game that is a unique trophy, right? Well, that can be an NFT. There could be only so many of those. They're limited, whoever finds them first, right? And then that NFT is automatically tracked. You could sell that on that game's marketplace. You could sell it on an NFT market, even though you earned it from the game, right? And that thing will have actual real life value. That's the point.
So it brings real life currency to other games, basically.
Yes. Yeah. And well, it creates a limit on certain. Well, it's that way anyways, right? So let's say you're playing WoW. Aren't there some things that there's only so many of? They're like really rare and hard to get.
Yeah, like super low drop rate, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'd be something like that is then protected from ever being copied or anything like that. It's already protected. It's built into its code as an NFT. So then if it gets sent somewhere or transferred to another person, you can look and it'll tell you exactly who touched that NFT at what time, who owned it at this point, and that would actually add value to it, right? Because say we had an NFT.
Like I get a rare mount and it's like, oh, Leandris acquired this mount on this date, this time, and I trade it to you. And then it shows, oh, he made the trade to Ryan.
Right.
So now it's Ryan's mount.
And then five, and I traded it to one of our fans, right? Well, one of our fans now has this super rare mount. There's only 300 of them or whatever, right? He has this rare mount, and guess what? We're super famous 5 years from now, like we're going to be. And now you can show that rare mount that you own was owned by Ryan, no question about it, from DDG. Well, now that thing is worth $60,000. Because Ryan owned it. The same way a guitar would be worth a lot more if someone famous owned it, right? From the Beach Boys, or you get what I'm saying?
But you took away the comparison of Clinton, who originally got it in the dungeon.
Right.
So it bumps up to 100,000.
Yes. Actually, if both of us owned it, it's obviously going to double in price at least. Yeah. But you get what I'm saying. That's kind of the point of NFT. That's how it can be involved in games. That's a very way that it can be involved in games. There's way more ways that NFTs can be.
Is this stuff tradable outside of the realm of the game?
Yes.
Well, I mean, like the object in game, it's like, hey, I want, I don't know, this TV, and so I'm going to trade you this in game. You play this game, so I'm going to trade you this in game mount for that TV. Yeah,
you could, if you wanted to. Yeah, just like money. Right?
Yeah.
And so you'd take that and say it's something rare, and say, like we said, Dr. Disrespect is playing that game. He finds that rare NFT. He uncovers it by completing some certain mission within a certain amount of time, and he was one of the first people to do it, right? Who knows what reasoning they give for earning it, but let's say he got it, right? Well, now he can take that and sell it on the NFT marketplace if he wanted to as a collectible.
Okay.
Right? Someone could just keep it. They never use it in the game. They don't have to. They might just keep it because they love Dr. Disrespect, and the game he's playing is not even a game they play. Does that make sense? Yeah. But they want it for its collectible value. So there's multiple uses for the NFTs. I didn't mean to give you guys a huge breakdown on NFTs, but you need to kind of understand what it is and how in the world is it connected to gaming. Because Polygon, they're a big company. They're known. They're a maker of crypto-based platforms. And they make platforms for non-fungible tokens. Well, they've set aside now $100 million fund for projects aimed at combining blockchain technology behind NFTs and gaming. So probably not just NFTs. Probably if there's a way that real world crypto can be used within the game too, that's something they're interested in. But specifically, they're aiming at the ability to mine, farm, trade, find, earn NFTs within the game, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now that goes further than that. We're talking about normal games that integrate NFT technology. The big thing that they really want is NFT style games. You say, well, what the freak would be an NFT style game? Pokemon, but digital. That would be an NFT style game, right? Because you've got Pokemon cards that are collectible. There's only so many of each one made, right? Certain ones are more powerful. Certain ones are more rare. Certain ones, right? You got all that exactly like we're talking about. But the whole game revolves around that card. And that player, that character on that card is a playable character of the game. It's not just like a collectible. Does that make sense? Okay. So there's a lot of games that are coming out right now. They have their own cryptocurrency, and they have their own NFTs on the NFT market. And the NFTs that you're collecting are the characters. They're the players of the game. So they got certain abilities. They've got certain levels or buffs or things like that make them more rare or more, right? And you buy these NFTs or these characters for the game, or you can earn them by doing different things depending on the game. But a lot of them is just buying. It'd be just like going buying a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards or buying a deck of Pokemon cards, and then you're going to get these NFTs in there and hope you get a foil, right? But it's digital. So that's a good way to get a picture in your head. And then you have these battles, these games where you go in and that character that's on your card is now usable to you because you own the card in the digital game. And then you go in and have
that character.
Right. Yeah. Maybe you go in and it's a battle royale, right? But all the characters are individually different with different traits. And you can only play with a character that you own the card to. You're not paying for the game. You're paying for the characters. Okay. That's another structure that is now being built. Just like you would never buy Pokemon, right? You buy Pokemon cards and then play Pokemon. That's exactly the same thing we're seeing now in the digital world.
So a little bit how Second Life used to operates in a way. Like you're not paying for the world, you're paying for the character.
For the
money
stuff.
that's spent is on the character, not on the actual game. It's all items in the game.
Except for Second Life would be an early stage of this, and everything in Second Life is completely copyable with no way to ever infringe on copyrights or to be protected or to go after anybody. Say you design something super cool, like this really interesting style of stairs in that game, and then you sold those as an art, right? Well, back then, somebody who knows coding can just take that, pull it into their computer, reproduce it, and sell it some more. There's nothing you can really do about it. Well, now you could have that protected through the NFT.
Okay.
And so that's a very good example. Yeah. Okay. So it's very, very widespread. They're wanting more people to jump into this. They're wanting more people to get into understanding the NFT and the blockchain technology. And they call it here Web 3 versus Web 2.0 because...
Web what? You got that again?
Web 3.0. They're basically saying blockchain technology is like the internet again. And I've made that equation when talking to my friends before. It's such a big leap in speed and processing and protection, and it's really on a whole nother level, what we call the internet. And so the more people that get involved with the idea of blockchain technology, whether it be from cryptos or anything other things, the faster we'll actually see blockchain technology, decentralized internet, right, actually roll out into the mainstream and be something that's more usable. And gaming is a great way. Everybody knows.
Sorry, you keep cutting that on us.
I said everybody knows that gaming is one of the biggest industries that are growing right now. So if you can tap into that growth with something you're wanting to promote, those two are going to go really well together. Yeah, and so that's why they're looking into this. I'm going to mess with my connection here real quick.
Okay. Yeah, it's a really good way too of video games are kind of an easy entry as far as you don't have to pay for any physical delivery or shipping or anything like that. It's not anything like that. It's all virtual. It's just the resources to make it, right? So.
Now some NFTs are tied to physical things too.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's digital. Yeah.
Yeah. within games, I'm sure they would make it just within the game or within some kind of trade system within that. But well, really cool. That's a very interesting article.
Yep, we're going to see more
a
of
new
it.
way to look at it.
Trust me, in this next year, you're going to see more and more games that are, and some people will be playing them and not even really understanding that that's what they are because they're getting more popular. But they're going to be games built around the collectible.
Yeah.
That's that idea. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Well, next, guys, we got some big news. This is like the big steak in the room that you just want to eat. Or at least it is for me. I don't know. Ryan, I don't even know if you've seen anything on this yet, but it's pretty exciting. We've talked in the past about Steam and how Steam has their own hardware out there. I believe, Ryan, you said it's called the Steam Box, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what they call it. Steam Machine is the general term.
Yeah. Yeah. So last week, I believe this was probably Friday, Steam kind of surprised everybody with a big announcement. They announced the new Stream Deck. Now, this is Valve's latest stab at the hardware after the shelved Steam machines, as we talked about. It's basically a handheld gaming PC with your Steam library built right into it. Now, this is not cloud gaming. This is actually hardware. It's like kind of like a Nintendo Switch, but it's PC. The Steam Deck.
It sounds like what they're doing is just like Nintendo Switch was kind of ever since Game Boy, the really first big handheld thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the PSP. I guess the PSP was actually pretty popular too. And then it sounds like they're stepping into that same realm saying, hey, this is not for specifically like Game Boy games. This is so you can play your PC games everywhere with you and not remotely the way we do, we're starting to see now, but really in the hardware, you're going to be playing and having that game in your hand.
Yep. It'll be just like loading up the Steam app on your computer. Supposedly that's the deal. And now it says here that the Steam Deck will stock. They will stock it beginning. They're going to stock it and ship it out in December 2021. They have 3 different price points that you're going to pay for. The most basic one is $399. And that's just your Steam Deck. That's baseline model, comes with 64 gigabyte of eMMC storage and a carrying case. So like basically that means you're going to be playing 1 game probably on that, maybe 2, depending on how big.
That's pretty small.
I mean, maybe 3 small games if you're lucky.
It does have expandable storage though, doesn't it?
Yes, you can do expandable storage. The next price point is going to be $529. This is going to be an upgraded model with 256 gigabytes of faster NVMe SSD storage and the same carrying case and an exclusive Steam profile bundle. I don't know if that means like games or what. They're also going to do a $649, which this is going to be your highest price top tier model. This is going to be 512 gigabytes of high-speed NVMe SSD storage, a special anti-glare glass, which is huge. That's a big deal. An exclusive virtual keyboard theme, and a custom carrying case, and the aforementioned Steam profile bundle.
Okay.
Let's see here. Trying to think here. Yeah, so the pre-order page, they say the order availability is currently slated for summer 2022, quarter 2 or later. So meaning it's going to be unlikely if you're just going to get it right in December. That just means they're shipping out in December. Let's see here. So when we're talking about the actual hardware of the computer, it's CPU is a Zen 2 4C /8T. A 2.4 to 3.5 gigahertz, which says up to 448 gigaflops, FP32. Your GPU is an 8 RDNA 2 CUS. I don't know what that means. Anyway, it says up to 1.6 teraflops. The RAM, it's got 16 gigabytes of LP DDR5 onboard RAM, and like we covered earlier, just a 64 gig hard drive. Screen size is 11.7 inch by 4.6 by 1.9. So that's the 1.9 is the thickness. It's going to weigh about 1.47 pounds, so could be a little hefty. And so you're going to be getting a 7-inch 1280 by 800 screen size there. They do have the audio stereo jack. And then the battery life of this thing is 2 to 8 hours. So they say a lighter game, you're going to get more out of it, but like a heavy game, like a Resident Evil 8, I would suspect probably going to be around your 2-hour mark because it's requiring more out of the computer itself. And then the video output docked up to 4K, 120 hertz, 8K, 60 hertz. Game performance. This is game performance at these often resolutions remains to be seen.
Hold on.
Yep.
Read that last line to me there again.
Game performance.
Yeah, the display performance.
The video output, this is when it's docked. This is up to 4K, 120 hertz, / 8K, 60 hertz. So
Really?
basically, if you bump up to 8K, you'll get 60. But like I said, they haven't like shown us that, right? That's just what.
Well, nobody's playing 8K for the next 3 years, anyways. I mean, at least 2 years, really. People are just now mainstreaming 4K. That's just now happening. So 4K 120 is actually pretty strong. But the thing that concerned me out of what you were just saying is the what do you say, 12 something by 800? That's almost 720p. That's slightly above 720p.
Yeah.
The display itself.
Yeah, that's going to be on the little system
on the screen itself. That to me is a little weak. And I know what they're probably doing is comparing it to the PSV and the Switch, which that is a better display than either one of those have.
Right,
I think.
Right.
But that's not their market. They're marketing towards PC gamers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I mean we've got phones that do 2K.
Do you think? I'm thinking maybe they went this route to keep the price down. Maybe.
I think they did, but I mean, like I'm saying, we have phones that do better than that. We're used to seeing really good displays in our hands every day now. You get what I'm saying? So, and I think Nintendo gets away with it because of the kind of games that are being played on it and the graphic level of those games. But if you're talking about playing PC style games and getting it, hopefully it has some other things that are going to make that. Because resolution isn't everything, right?
Right.
There's other things that can be implemented that make the game look good, And
but it may
that
be,
one's got me concerned.
It may be that the HD screen with that style, with computer games, may be too hard to push in the machine. Maybe.
Yeah, it probably is. For
I think it's a cost versus performance. Maybe I don't know. But you're right. Whenever I heard 720p, I was like, oh, why not 1080? Why not just get full HD?
Nowadays.
Right.
Yep.
And that was, to me, the only thing I could figure out is maybe why they didn't. Now, second generation, I guarantee it's probably going to have HD. More than likely, I would say. So anyway, that's what I got. Let's take a look. I got a video here that I'm going to pull up. And it's there's a link in the Discord for you, Ryan. We're going to check it out and see kind of what you guys think of it.
The main thing to understand is just the operating system of this device is just Steam. It's the same Steam experience you have on the desktop. We've done some stuff to make inputs work better for all the different kinds of inputs you'd use with a gamepad. We've really tried to optimize the experience of finding a game and playing a game. That's kind of been like, from the very beginning, that was something that was important to us. But it's your whole Steam library, it's the whole Steam store, it's not a limitation or like a slimmed down version of it. The main thing was, we really started from this idea of like, we know that people are gonna be taking this device different places, they're probably gonna be playing with it in different ways, so they're gonna have like shorter game sessions, wanna really get into the action quickly. And so it was super important for us that you can find a game like immediately, and that's games in your library, but also like games that you might wanna know about, things that are new to the store, that kind of thing. And be able to jump right into the game and play it. Those, I think, really like kind of underpin like the entire Steam OS. Like that's part of the play resume functionality that we have that's pretty impressive. Being able to jump right into a PC game and jump back out again.
We all agreed really early on that we needed that feature and that it was going to be a core part of how people experience the device. As we've seen many other mobile platforms, even how people use their phones, that's what they're used to. They press the button, everything comes back up the way they left it, right? Most of the work was actually kind of more on the lower level OS side in collaboration with AMD. We worked a ton of getting that stable, but it's rock solid now, and we're really happy with where we ended up.
Came up
It looks
from
slick.
the earliest conversations with AMD, also with Steam developers internally, but we needed to make sure that suspend and resume, just putting a game down and picking it back up, was something that was accommodated by the design of the system at the lowest level, like the power envelope to maintain a session across putting a game down and picking it back up, but also the speed with which that you can one button put the device into that state, and
Oh, I like that. Motion controls.
It will resume is pretty impressive, I think, in the end. It was
And
more
it
just making
does have
sure that
touchscreen,
we
guys.
didn't lose sight of
I didn't
the
mention
importance of
that.
feature.
I'm looking at that
So it
thumb
ended
pad
up
thing
being
underneath there
not
is
like
unique.
That was the hardest feature that we
Yeah.
implemented.
Underneath
But we
each
needed to
joystick.
not let it slip by and then end up being a poor experience in the end. So it took some minding and some real development.
And there's a ton of things that we learned from doing big picture, like pretty much everything that you see in terms of how a D-pad interface should work. Like I think big picture came out in an early time, even before some of the Netflix interface and that kind of thing. TV apps kind of settled on how to do that well. So we took all of that learning, is definitely played out in this device. And I think the other thing that's happened over time is just technology has matured. So with all the work that we did to redo the library a year or so ago for the Steam desktop client.
One of my
we were able to
concerns here
use
is the fact that the
all those
game
components, all the
or
technology behind
the
it,
console, I
and
guess
make
itself, is
By working on both the hardware
not
and
usable for movie
software
watching.
at the
Like
same
you
time.
can't pull up your Disney Plus or something like that. If it could do that stuff too,
Setting up a PC experience, and you
because it's only got the Steam as the OS, that's a little bit concerning.
a lot of simplicity.
Well, they actually said in a separate deal that you can
exactly
you
the
can
same
download
pieces
Windows
that use
to
the
it.
desktop client.
That way you can
Okay.
play other games that aren't even
Exactly.
Steam games and
It's
stuff.
a
So,
whole new opportunity where we felt like in big picture, there's
But I don't know how hard that's
going to
be. But they did say it's going to be possible, so you can play other games that aren't on Steam and stuff like that.
This is really an extension of the desktop client that everyone's used to. And so that's going to help us make the experience better, faster, and also make sure that all of our customers get the same quality of experience they get in the regular desktop client, no matter what platform they're using. Within Steam on Deck, one of the features that we've been trying to figure out how to bring to the Steam platform for a long time is the home screen that you see in Steam on Deck. And that's the idea of actually bringing together the store and your library into one place, but also your friends and the community and all the great things that you love about Steam. Like all those things are built into that home screen. So that's one of the features that we think is unique and will provide a lot of value if you're invested in Steam. Like this is Steam in a nutshell, all in one screen.
There's as much customization as you would want, or as little as you would want. Because lots of people are going to be very happy to just treat this machine as its primary purpose is intended, as a machine on which you can just play games and not think about any of that stuff. But if you want to treat it like a PC that does any number of things, you can do that to the fullest extent that a PC allows you to do.
So that probably means even like editing and things like that, if it can handle it. I don't know how you would do it with a joystick, but anyway, yeah. So that's
interesting.
I like.
We'll definitely be following that as more news comes out.
Yeah, I saw a scene, an article or something where someone had said they it's basically an open source client. Like,
Okay.
So, anyway, yeah, that's kind of the big news there. The one because no one was really expecting it. Boom, they just dropped it out of nowhere. So
I can dig it. I think it's a player.
I think I'm gonna hold off on the Switch. I think so. Because that's maybe the best fix I could get as far as wanting the game, but being with the kids in the living room. 'Cause I'm all the way in the back, so it's like, how can I pull this off? Oh, Daddy wants to play some Call of Duty with Big Rai, but I can't go back there right now. Oh, I'll just hop on here, and then when they go to bed, switch on over.
Except for Call of Duty is not on Steam, so as long as it'll let you run Battle.net.
Well, yeah, if you can do Windows. I mean, if
Then
what
you should
they're
be able
saying
to.
is true, and I
Right.
can get a Windows client, and, you just do the Blizzard launcher, and voila. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it
You got to
runs.
go with
and
the
if
better
all-
one. So I don't think that one's worth. I don't think that's worth buying without getting the better one.
No, I'm getting the top, yeah. I'm getting the
Yep, yep.
$600.
Yep. Here's
512
something I'm
gigabyte.
gonna throw out here to the listeners. Why don't we debate on making this our big Christmas giveaway prize? I think it's a great idea, but we're not going to do it unless you guys write us. You guys write us on Facebook or write us. Clint, what's your email? Throw it out there.
Clinton at deliriousdadsgaming.com.
Okay. If you write us on one of those two places, or if you comment on YouTube and say, "Hey, yeah, we want the giveaway." I don't know how many messages we want. I would say if we got 30 of you saying yes, 30, 40, somewhere in there, saying yes, we want it, then we'll do it.
Yeah, you help us get the word out about Delirious Dads, and we start getting this thing freaking on the skyrocketing to the top.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do it.
Yep.
We'll
So
save
let us
up and
know.
get it done.
If you don't let us know, we won't give one away. So let us
Then
know.
you completely lose out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Hunter, hey, thanks, buddy. I know you're getting sunburnt down there in the bottom. We hope you're doing okay. Jeez, you look stiff.
I know. It looks miserable too. Like, I mean, who wants to
Yes.
be at that beautiful location?
Anyway, it's good stuff. Hey, guys, we appreciate you tuning in to episode 109. We are going to be adding some of the extra episode segments, we should say. So we're just getting all that lined up on the side. We want to bring it to you right. And so we'll be hitting you here pretty soon with some extra content outside of the gaming news.
Oh, yeah. So you guys, one thing I can tell you, followed by two other things, is stay delirious
And stay dadding.
and stay gaming.
This has been a Delirious Dads production. For more information about the show, visit our website at www.deliriousdadsgaming.com. You can also find us on facebook.com/deliriousdadsgaming, twitch.tv, and YouTube. Make sure you like and share our pages to help us grow the channel. You can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Please leave a rating and review if you enjoy the show. Thank you again for listening, and we hope to see you next time.